Hey, hi everyone. Very good evening. Hi, Srisha. Good evening. Hi, the danger. Good evening. Yes. All right. So, is my voice is loud and clear to you all? Let's confirm everyone. Anil, yes. Sai Durga, the danger. Yes. Yes, loud and clear. Great. Fine then. So I think we are good to start. So let us. Hi, Sakit. Good evening. So let us do a quick recap, and then we will get into today's topic. So, what are the topics that we have discussed in yesterday's session? You can just post one by one. What are the areas that we have covered in the last session? Srisha, knowing and understanding the data, yes. Filtering and sorting. So, what else? Delete and drop, yes. Initial investigations, right, Supriya? And what else? Yes, I, right. Data filtering. Mhm. Creating series and data frame, right. Great, Srisha. So Pavani, filtering data, understanding the data, sorting data, delete, drop, right. Supriya, finding unique data, right. Finding attributes, yes. I was expecting these terms. What is the difference between attributes, methods? We learned it yesterday. And also we learned about insight versus meaningful insight. We learned about that. I was also expecting that term. And other than that, terminology alert, right? So how we say rows, what are the other terms for rows? Observations, right, Srisha? We can call it as observations. Sai Durga record, yes. Observations record. What else? Data points. Great. Wonderful. So, and the columns are also called as what? Pavani, great. It's a detailed explanation, Pavani. Methods have parentheses, attributes doesn't have rows, observation, columns, features. Wonderful. Features or parameters, Aditya, great. Srisha, wonderful. So these are the things that we have discussed in yesterday's session. Wonderful, Supriya. Great. Good points. So that is what we have covered in yesterday's session. And have you all practiced it? The same script and very important function, one function we've used yesterday. What is it? I said it is very important. We discussed about shape function, group by, yes, very important function. And have you all practiced that group by function by writing it and everything? Have you all practiced it? Sai Durga, yes. All right, fine. So good to know on your progress. So let me get into today's topic then. So let us again, we are going to, as I said, we are going to continue this Panda session. So we are going to complete the remaining chapters, so that with that we are going to complete, we would be having a good understanding about how to do this data analysis with respect to this Pandas library. We will be good with respect to that topic. All right, so now let me do a quick recap from the day when what we are discussing. We discussed about brief history of artificial intelligence, how it is getting evolved in this market, and what are all the other from where it all got started. And then we discussed about different terminologies like data science, artificial intelligence, and everything. And then we discussed about this roadmap to become a data scientist, what all the things to be, what all the things that we have to see and learn. And then we discussed about this life cycle of a data scientist. 1 minute. Yes, so we discussed about this life cycle of a data scientist, and then we discussed about what are the different IDEs available, and then we picked up this Jupyter Notebook IDE. We understood the purpose, and then we started with the basics of Python programming part, where we have spent 2 days of time, and we worked on how to create a for loop and if statement and nested if statement and everything. And then how to what are the different functions available, like user defined function, predefined function, anonymous functions. We learned it over there, and we have done a good practice. And I think you all worked on the daily given tasks with respect to Python programming, or day 1 and day 2. And then we got into Python libraries, where we started off with the pandas, and basically we understood the purpose of library. So now, what is a library? What is a library? What is a library? It is a set of methods, functions, and data types. Great, Bhavani. Bhavani, Srisha, wonderful. Set of functions, attributes, and data types. Right. So that's what we discussed. And what is the purpose of pandas? Why we need pandas library? Pandas for data analysis, data manipulation. Great. Fine. So then we understood this pandas library, and then we deep dived into it, and we had we looked at multiple chapters, and then we completed getting and knowing your data, and then we understood about filtering and sorting exercise, and then we discussed about delete chapter, and then finally we discussed about this the creating series and data frame. We discussed it. Right. So now today we are going to continue this, and we will be completing this particular chapter. All right. See this. This is what today's plan. So today we will be getting into the remaining chapters of this syllabus. That is, here we'll be getting into this merge function, and then we will be getting into this delete. I think so. Yesterday we worked on indexing. We will be getting into it, indexing chapter, and this particular chapter will be getting into it. Indexing, deleting, and then this merge chapter we will get into it, and apply function. So these are all the 4 chapters that we will be getting into it, and then tomorrow we will be getting into, as per the agenda. And tomorrow we will be having, yes, data visualization session. So tomorrow we will get into data visualization session, and we will be having, today we will be having a basic introduction about data visualization, and tomorrow we will be getting into the complete part. All right. Fine. So now what we will do, let's start with indexing. Okay, let's start with this particular chapter, indexing. Let us all go back to our Jupyter notebook, what we worked on yesterday. So this is chapter number 5. Let me give a name. Chapter 5. It is indexing. All right, indexing. Now let me take one data set. Maybe let me take this data set itself. Euro 2012. So in case if you're just opening this data set for the first time, means if you close this Snow Jupyter notebook and if you're opening it again, you just need to read this and start it. So PD input from here, you have to start it, input pandas and everything. But for me, it's already open since it's yesterday. So I'm just starting with this 022. All right. So this is my particular data. So now my question is nothing but, again, it's just an exercise. Now, how can I get the first 5 observations of this data set? The first 5 observations I wanted to take it. How can I take it? By using this head function, we will be getting the first 5 observations. Now my question is, I want to take the first 5 observations and also the first 5 columns, or we can say features. First 5, let's say I want only team, shooting accuracy, percentage goals to shots, total shots, this particular column, and the hit would work. I just want to take first 5 columns. How do I do that? Any idea? Any idea? How do I do that? Let me give it. See this. If you're going with 2012.head command, it is going to give you the first 5 observation. Okay, I just want to take first 5 and also first 5 observation and also the first 5 columns. So that's my priority here. So that's the case. What you have to head command by giving 5,5. This will never work. This will take only one positional argument. So, but here we are giving 2 things. So it is not possible. So at the time, what we will do is nothing but we will just give out our data set name dot. Here we are having something called as iloc. We call it as integer locator. So for data filtering again, we use which bracket? Because it's a data filtering, right? For data filtering, we use which bracket? Square brackets. So I'm going to use square brackets. Let me give a column. All right. So if you give column, again, it is going to give you an error. Okay, column in the sense it is going to take the complete data, right? But what I wanted is nothing but first you can give a comma, before comma give a column, and after comma give a column, which means that before comma it speaks about rows, after comma it speaks about columns. Now if you say before comma, if you just give only this column, it means that I want all the observations. After comma, if you just give this quotation, column, it means that I want all the rows. Now I don't want it. First 5 observation. So if I want to display first 5 observation, I will be giving 5 because the starting position it will be 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. First 5 observation I got it, and after column here also I'll be giving 5. So now if I see the first 5 observations or first 5 columns. So by using this integer locator, I'm able to filter my particular data in this particular pattern. Got it, Govind? Yes, right. Integer locator. Is that point clear up to this? Yes or no? Can I get a quick information, please? Yes. Fine. So this is something like integer locator. Now let me complete this. So what I wanted again from Euro 12, let me use this. What I wanted is nothing but, let's say I wanted to take team and shooting accuracy, this column, and hit would work. I want to take team, shooting accuracy, and hit work. These 3 columns I wanted. Now, in case if you wanted to go with a range, let's say first 5 columns, you can just give this range. Now, I'm not going with a range. Now, what I'm doing, I'm just wanted 0th column, first column, 1, 2, third column I wanted. So what you can do is nothing, but you can just give dot, you can just give dot, there is something called as info. In case if you're giving this information, you will be getting all this index numbers. So 0th index number, first 2 and everything. So by looking into it, what you can do, hero data dot ilog, all right, give a comma, colon. If you just give it, it means that I want all the observations, right? So now what I wanted, let's say I want the first 5 observations of which columns? This is nothing but what? 0th column. So now it is not a range, it is just you're picking up. So 0th column, comma, first column, and then 2, 3, 4. Now I have to give 4. All right, you have to separate by comma. If I'm executing it, it is going to give me an error and it says too many indexes. Now what is the problem? If I wanted to take more than one feature at once, I have to take it within what? I have to take it within list. Wonderful, good observation, everyone. So this particular one, I have to take it within 0th column, first column, 4th column. I'm taking it within list, and then I'm finishing it up. Now I got this particular 0th column, first column, it work. In a similar way, also here also you can do it. Instead of giving the range, let's say you wanted to go with some hand pickings. Let's say 0th observation, 2nd observation, 3rd observation. So you're going to pick it in this way. So this is everything whatever we are doing. It's just an exercise of how to filter this particular data, integer locator. All right. So this is one way of filtering the thing. I hope it is clear. Now my next point is nothing but here. See this, I'm just clearly saying, okay, I want team, shooting accuracy, hit work. I wanted these 3 columns, which I'm just manually saying that. So then why do I need to go and find out index number and calling out with index number? Rather than calling out with this index number, why can't I, is there any way that I can just call out with respect to their names? Yes, it is possible. So let me go to this Euro 2012 dot. If you give tab button, you will be getting all the list of functions, attributes. And there is something called as LOC, locator. Okay. And again, square bracket, comma, colon, if you just give it, colon, if you give it, it is going to pick up all the observations and all the columns. Now, after this column, let's say the first 5 observations you wanted, and you can just here list down these things. That is, let's say you wanted, let's say which column, it's shooting accuracy. Let me copy. You want shooting accuracy, comma. It's a hit work you wanted. Let me copy it. All right, so these 2 columns you wanted. So again, it is giving me a problem, too many indexes. So now what, how do I fix it? How do I go and fix it? Take it within list. Shooting accuracy and hit work, use list. See this? Now, I'm not mentioning this index number of my features. So when I'm saying I wanted these 3, only these 3 columns, you can use this locator and you can just mention this particular location, sorry, your column names you can give it and you can just take it down. So now see this manually, any steps, anything is fine. It's up to us to go for data filtering. So nothing is wrong here, but the point is nothing but why do I need to, if I'm saying clearly, hey, I wanted these 3 columns. Now, why do I go and check for the index number, 10th index, 11th index, and everything? So the easiest part is I'll use this locator. I want the first of observation. In the next list, I will be passing out only that particular column names and I'll be getting the details. Able to understand everyone? Pavani, yes. Srisha. Yes. All right. Now, if you see in this particular index locator, you can't give this column names. Let me copy this. Let's say here I'll change it. Instead of locator, if I'm saying I locator, with respect to index locator, can I just pass out the column names? Will that work? No. It is not going to work. ILOC request numeric indexes, got shooting accuracy in column. This is going to throw me an error. This is not going to work. So what do? Even with respect to locator, can I just pass this column numbers? That is also possible. That is also not possible. None of integers 0, 5 are in the columns. So if you are using locator, make sure you're just if you're using locator, you have to pass out the column name. Rather than passing the column numbers, if you're using iLocator. Is it clear, everyone, up to this? How we have to choose between this, is it clear? Please confirm, everyone. All right, wonderful, great. So this is all about this particular chapter, indexing. Okay, so this, but by using this index operator, we can just, that's why even when we are discussing about this list, sets and tuples and dictionaries, I did not go much into that indexing slicing, because if it is a one dimension, we don't do much of this filtering process. Mostly in the practical world, you will be dealing with this kind of two-dimensional data, let it be a CSV file or Excel file. That's what the data that you are going to deal with. So now these are the things that you have to focus more on, and you have to give more time to learn it. All right. So now this chapter is clear. Indexing chapter is clear. Let us just finish this and go back and go to the next one. So let me copy this. Just click C, copy. I'm highlighting this, and then I got this below this particular selected cell. I will be getting the line. Now it is chapter number 6. Chapter 6. Let me take this apply function. Okay, let me get into this apply. Very important point, apply function. Now let me ask you this question. How many different functions we have in Python? How many different functions we have in Python? And what are they? How many different functions we have in Python? Pratyush, iLoc is integer locator, where we can just give the index number of the column and we can filter it out. 3 types: predefined, user-defined, anonymous. Wonderful, Pavani, great. So we discussed about predefined function. We discussed about user-defined function. Now we will be discussing about this anonymous function, how exactly this anonymous function will work. So, and I said that we will be discussing about this anonymous function later. Now we will be getting into it. So Sri Nikila, great. Yes, these are the 3 functions. Wonderful. Can we change index number after filtering data? Index number, yeah. Can we change index number after? Yes, but you can just store this information into some other variable, and then you can just change it. That way you can do it. All right, what is that Govind? Print to type and all. Oh, okay, you're giving me all these functions. I'm just talking about, there are 3 different functions, Govind. One is predefined, user-defined, and anonymous. I was speaking about that. Sorry if you misunderstood. All right. Now, this anonymous function we will be discussing now. See this, for this, let us use The student math CSV file. Let me copy this file. Control C. Sorry, copying this name. Copying this name. It's basically a CSV file. So let me use pd dot read underscore CSV. So student math CSV file. So now when I'm just looking into it, what is this data set is speaking about? Can you just take a look at it and let me know? What is this data set speaking about? Student details. Great, Srisha. It's speaking about student details. So which school he's studying and the graduate which degree that particular student has taken, and male or female, what's the age and what's the address and family size, and what is the parent status, mother state, something like post-graduation status, something we are able to see. Now, I'm not going to get into this details of explaining of data understanding. That is not the goal here. We are taking this data only for exercise purpose. So what we will do, let me just store this data into something like it's a student details. All right, let me store it here. Student details. Now, what I wanted to do is nothing but here I'm able to see. Maybe we'll pick it up Guardian, right? So here we are able to see Guardian. So now what I wanted to do, I wanted to make all the elements or all the values which is present inside this Guardian into upper cases. Okay, manually doing it, it's a very difficult task for me. Getting into, see this 395 observations, manually getting into everything, each and every observation and changing the values to upper cases, it's just a difficult task for me. So now I wanted to change this. Basically, we will be having a button, right? In any software application, if you see, by clicking on the button, we will be getting it. Behind the button, what exactly it is there? It is basically a function. So a function is getting up. What is a function? An operation that we are trying to apply on top of a variable. Now we will select that particular column and we will just make it like upper cases. Now that's what we are going to do. So for that, how they have written the script, we will be understanding it now. Maybe this part, definitely this will be helpful for your data cleaning processes when you're working with some natural language processing applications. Okay. So now see this. Now my goal is I wanted to make all the values present inside this Guardian upper cases. That's what my task now. How I'm going to make it? So now what I'll do is nothing but firstly, student details. I'm going to locate my particular column because it's a data filtering, so I'm going to use square brackets. Guardian. All right, I located it. Now what I wanted is nothing but here, let's say dot. I will be using this tab button. Is there anything like upper function? Upper function? No. Even the Guardian is an object, here directly upper function, it is not working. So what do I need to do here? There's nothing but this particular column, I picked it and I'm going to use one function called as apply. Oh, is there any problem with my mic? Is everyone not facing it? Why Vinod, you did not tell that at the beginning? I was asking that. Is there any problem with my mic or is it good? Let's confirm everyone. There is a sound. Add sound is coming. Is it fine now? All right. Fine, then sorry for that. All right, so now let's get into this apply function. Let's try to use this out. Apply. All right, apply is a function basically. Now let me read it. What exactly this apply function is saying? Since apply is a function, I'm using open and close parentheses. Now within that, I'm having a function as a parameter. Now, what exactly this function says, if you read it, apply a function along an axis of the data frame. That is, apply is a function and it is expecting another function inside it to be performed. See this, apply a function along an access to be performed. So here this function is equal to, it can be a predefined function. This function is equal to one function to apply to each column or row. Anything we can give it, and access also we can give it here. The default access is nothing but all the row elements. So what I'll do, this function I want to do. So let me write one function here. I'm going to write one function like this. I'm going to use one function called as Lambda function. Now see this. I got all the elements like uppercase. I'll be explaining what exactly this Lambda function a while, but I got mother, father, and everything, all the details in uppercases. Now, if I'm just looking into this outside, still this guardian, it is not, it is still in lower cases. Now, what mistake I have done here? What mistake I've done here, or what blunder I've done here? Store it. Great. So how we have to store it? Any idea? Do I have to store like this? Is this right? Is this right? Once think and let me know. Is this right? In case if you're doing it, right, Anil, you got the point. We need to mention the column also, because if you're doing this particular part, whatever the result you get, it will be stored in this particular student data. That's it, will be overwritten. You won't be able to get this data frame. So what we wanted, see this. Let me store it. Student details. I just stored it here. Now see this. You're getting only this details, but this is not what we are expecting. So this is just a blunder what most of the learners will do. So now I imported this data. Now this operation need to be performed for data filtering within this particular guardian column. It need to be replaced. All right, within this particular guardian column, it need to be replaced. So now this process, it has been done. Now if you see student details, see this, all the values within this guardian, it got replaced. Now my question is, so if I'm just doing this manually for all the columns, it is for all the values present inside, it is going to be very painful task for me. So by using this apply function, I've just accomplished this particular process. Now my next question is nothing but how exactly this Lambda function is working. We will be getting into it now. So to understand this Lambda function, but before that, why I've just given this colon square bracket guardian, is that point clear? Can I get a quick information from everyone, please? Aditya, which part? I have not explained this Lambda function because I'm just explaining the square bracket. Why I said square bracket? Because if you're just doing this particular part, only you will get the upper cases. But you have to store it into that particular column so that it will be impacted to the original data frame. That's what the point I was explaining. Yep. All right. So let me share this Lambda function. So just take a read on it. Among the list specified item, I hope. What is that list specified item? Not clear, Anil, sorry. So see this. In Python, what are Lambda functions in Python? I'm just getting into this, how I've written this Lambda function. In Python, an anonymous function is a function that is defined without a name. So while normal functions are defined using the def keyword in Python, because when we are typing user-defined function, we try to keep definition as a keyword, and then we try to write our user-defined function. That is, while normal functions are defined using the def keyword in Python, anonymous functions are defined using the lambda keyword. So first we have to append with lambda keyword. All right. Hence, anonymous functions are also called as lambda functions. Right. Now, a lambda function in Python has the following syntax. Syntax of lambda function in Python. Lambda arguments, colon, expression. So this is how we have to, this is the syntax of this particular Lambda function. Lambda functions can have any number of arguments, but only one expression. The expression is evaluated and returned. Lambda functions can be used wherever function objects are required. That is nothing but see this. Let me explain it here. So here you got this particular data, Lambda function, you got it. Lambda is a keyword. So what I'm just going to do, I'm just picking up one data, right? So I'm just picking this from the student details. From the, sorry, my handwriting is bad today. Student details, I picked up one column, that is guardian. All right, picked up this guardian, right? Now dot apply function, I used it, right? Within this apply function, how I'm using Lambda, this Lambda is a keyword. So Lambda arguments can have any number of arguments. Now, since I've taken only one guardian, I'm just calling it as X and then give a colon, and then expression. It can have only one expression. What is that expression I want to do? Since this is my X, right? So this is my X. X dot upper. Upper is a function, right? All the values, I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it within this, and I'm just going to store it into X. And I will be getting all the values in each and every observation. It will be turned as positive, sorry, upper cases, and I will be getting the output. So you can use within this apply function, you can use Lambda functions or user-defined function or a predefined function. It's up to us which function we have to use it out. So now to accomplish this particular process, I've used this Lambda function. So this is syntax to apply Lambda, and then you can have any number of arguments. For example, you can have, let's say you are picking up 3 columns. You can have Lambda. You can have X, Y, Z. You can have anything, and then give a colon, because here you say any number of arguments. Argument can be any number, but only one expression. One expression, nothing but what? You can just X plus Y plus Z. Finally, I'll be getting only one output. So that need to be captured in any one value, and you'll be updating it. That's it. You got my point, everyone? How this Lambda function, we have to write it. Anil, yes. Try that out, Leela. For more arguments, you can just give a try on it. I'm not making it more complex. I'm just making it simple so that you can try out all the complex stuffs later. All right. So see this, this is just, here is an example of Lambda function that doubles the input value. So here, this is just how exactly this Lambda function will work and how exactly I'm getting the output. So this is something not required for now, but see this. We use Lambda function when we require a nameless function for a shorter period of time. Very important point to be noted. So now when this upper function is nothing but a simplest function which I am going to use it. So when we require a nameless function, because when we require a nameless function, because we don't need to create a memory for Lambda function will never consume any memory basically. So it will accomplish the process, because if it is a user-defined function, to define a function, we need a memory, because it's a name. We are going to give a name to that function, and we need to have a storage memory. But with the nameless function, we just use the keyword and we accomplish it. We don't need any memory, but we are doing that particular process. That's what the power of this particular Lambda function. So in Python, we generally use it as an argument to a higher order function and everything. Lambda functions are used along with built-in functions like filter, map, and everything. So this one, you can just take a look on it. So along with this Lambda function, you can use filter, map, and reduce. There are 3 things. Says filter, map, and reduce. I'm not going to get into these 3 other steps. So, but this is something which is sufficient for now. Lambda functions, how to do that, that is more than sufficient. So now this materials, you can just take a look at it later. So now let us go back here. So that is how this Lambda function, X is an argument. I'm giving a colon, and then I'm just doing only one operation. And finally, it is returning only one output. I'm able to get it. Function without a name is anonymous function, Lambda, right? And great. Fine. So now what I wanted to do is nothing but let me give a task for you all. I just wanted to make this mother's job and father's job capitalized. Okay, these 2 columns need to be capitalized. So I'll be giving you 3 minutes time. or let's say 3 minutes time. Okay, the script and everything is same. Just try to means I wanted to apply this particular function where exactly this teacher, everything will be capitalized, not uppercase, is capitalized. Father's job and mother's job. 3 minutes time, you can just give me the script on the chat box. Two minutes passed by. You need more time for that. All right. Great, Renuka. So are you getting the output? Are we getting the output? Okay. Okay, Dr. Leela, but again, are we getting the output for this? All right, I think time's up. I think you're all trying. So see this. Let me take Renuka script. Let me copy. Let me give. So this is what Renuka has given. So let me try that out. Invalid syntax, where it is giving, see this. So you're getting two things. So let's say X comma Y, you're trying to get two things. And where is this dot operator? Because this, the first one is X, second one is Y. If you're considering that X dot, in that we have to do it. And again, student details is not defined. It is defined. Okay, it is mother's job and father's job. Let me try to keep it like this. Student details again. Students detail, okay. Try to keep it like this. No, it is not working. Renuka, are you getting the output for your script? What about Dr. Leela? Are you getting it? I hope you should also get some error. I guess it. So what here we can do, let's try to do one by one. Left job, farthest job. Let me pick one and apply. There's a function. Done. And then what I can do, student details, mother's job. Again, let me pick a lambda. X colon, X dot upper. Now if you see students details, all right, sorry, it is not upper, it is capitalized. I said it is capitalized version, right? X dot tab button, if you give it, you'll be getting this capitalized function, which you have already used in your string methods. Capitalize string object. Okay, I think it's a T. Okay, now it is done. Now we see this. Only the first letter it will be capitalized. That's what I was saying. So this is how you can make use of this apply and lambda function. All right. So now the next question, let me try to ask it. So again, what I wanted you to do now on call, I'm saying only one or two are working and finding no one is responding in the chat box. So try to make use of this time and give the response in the chat box so that let us make this training as a better, mutually we can also learn it. All right. So just keep posting your answers so that we can engage it in a better way. So now what I wanted is nothing but, so here you're having H column, right? Here you're having H column. Now I just wanted to create a new column here, with a name called eligibility criteria. And that column should return if the value, let's say age, it is 18 here. So the age, if it is 18 and greater than 18, this should return at this particular here, this should return he is eligible for eligibility, let's say eligibility criteria for voting, we can say voting. So he is eligible. It should return E or it should return 1. 1 means that he is eligible. Else it should return 0. So that kind of values have to get written. So the question is nothing but a quick exercise. Create a new column in the same data set, which returns 1 if age is greater than or equal to 18 and returns 0 otherwise. All right. So this is the task for you all. And I will be giving you maybe 4 minutes time. You can take it out if you want. All right. 4 minutes time you can take it. And is the question clear? Once let me know. Or getting any confusion with the question? Is the question clear? Yes or no? Julie, only Julie understood, I think so. Okay, Dr. Leela, yes. From now, yes, fine. So you can start working on it. Let me start 4 minutes timer. I'm not here to judge anyone, but I just want you to think and work on it. All right, just by looking into it, it will never work. So you have to think on it, and within this particular timeline, try, if you want, try doing your own research, but try to give out your answers. Okay, let it be wrong or let it be right, but if you're giving it, that will be better. 4 minutes time starts now. I'll be on mute until then. You can just give me the answers. All right, I think you all are working on it. So can you just start sharing your scripts? Let me take a look at how exactly you're trying it out. Still one more minute. All right. I didn't get any responses on the chat. Okay, Srisha, first let post it. Fine. So within the given time, Srisha has tried it. So input into the wage. Okay. Okay, you tried it in this way, Srisha. So, but in the sims, but appreciate your effort there. But create a new column in the same data set as that, which means that you're not creating in the same data set. Got my point? What I'm saying? Maybe you can take a look at it. See this? Everyone can take a look on it. Oh, wonderful. Pavani, are you getting the output? Or are you getting the output? You got the point, but I think there would be some syntax error. I think so. See this. Student details. I'll pick up this age column. Okay, here, age column. And then I'm going to apply this function. Where exactly? Oh, Lambda function. All right. And I will be saying X colon. It will return 1 if this EX, if it is greater than or equal to 18, it will return 1, else it will return 0. Now I got the output. As I said, it need to be replaced in the same data set, student details. And if it is a new column, if it's a new column, square bracket, create a new column like eligibility criteria. This is a new column which I'm going to create, and this output will be stored over there. Now, if you see the student details, now look at it. Eligibility criteria. See this particular column here 1 and the last 3 observation ones. So 20, 21, 18, 19, everything. Got it, everyone? Yes. You all got it. So this point you will only understand if you have explored the daily task which I have told you on list comprehension. If you have not explored this list comprehension, you won't be able to get this particular topic. How many of you explored this list comprehension, the task which I've given yesterday? Saloni, great. Pavani, I think you should have explored list comprehension. Harsh, wonderful. So you're able to get this? How exactly? I'm not going to explain this, how I'm writing this and everything, because I've given already this for your exploration. So I would expect the same if I'm giving any task from your side as well to be completed. All right. So you want the link? I think a lot of files has been created. So as I said earlier, please don't create any duplication of files. I think Putta, please don't create it here. This link is only for you to download it. And also Matam, just make use of this link to download the files. That's it. Yes, William. So just provided this data set link in the chat box. You can take it there. All right. All right, Anil, got you. So I think that's the major problem. Anyway, appreciate for being frank, but try to listen to all the initial recordings. So that should help you out here to understand it more better. All right. Fine. So see this, I use this apply function and I use this particular keyword Lambda and I created it. And I also said by using apply function, we can also use this user defined function and also we can apply it, right? So shall we try instead of this Lambda function, shall we try by passing a user defined function here? The same operation. Can we try it by giving a user defined function with an apply? See this. This is my student details, right? Where exactly? Let me delete this column, eligibility criteria, let me delete it. So to remove one column, delete eligibility criteria. All right, it got deleted. Now if you see student details, I'm not able to see eligibility criteria, it had gone. So now what I'm doing, now I'm just creating eligibility criteria dot apply function. Now apply is a function which will take in another function, right? So that's what I said. Now let me create a user-defined function. So user-defined function need to be created with definition. Let me create something like maybe get age, some name. Let me create it. Get age, and here I will be getting one age colon. Let me use if if this particular X, if it is, we can say if X, if it is equal to greater than or equal to 18, let me return 1, else let me return 0. So this is a function. Now what I'll do, now each value I will do everything, it will be get into it, and here let me pass this particular get underscore age name. Only the name we can pass it. Okay. Now let me see the result. Eligibility criteria keyword error. What is that? Okay, basically we don't have it, so here you have to get it like age, right? See this, we got this output. Now this one I have to store it into student details with the new column name eligibility. Let's say eligibility criteria. Now this part is done. Students detail, I think students details. Now if I'm saying students details, see this, now I got it. So the point here to be taken is nothing but apply is a function which will take predefined function or a user defined function or an anonymous function inside it to accomplish certain process. It's up to us, and based on the problem statement, what we wanted to do, we can make use of this particular part. Got it, everyone? All right, Pavani, Harsh, great. And understandable, Harsh. In case if you miss any one point, whatever we are discussing in the session, it is going to impact your next day's learning. So 2-hour session, it needs complete attention and your complete focus here, complete practice. If you're giving it dedicatedly for this learning, definitely you can come up with a pace, or else again you will feel lag or you won't be able to answer well, like the way how you used to answer before. That will happen. I can understand it. But you can make it better if you're before attending today's lecture. If you could have watched the recording and practiced it, that should have been more better. And also the daily given tasks. Right, Anil, you're right. Wonderful. Fine then. So this is all about this particular chapter. Okay, how we can. I missed pandas when I tried it. Choose pandas not defined. Yes, Leelavati, that's what even I said in the beginning. So if you're opening this Jupyter notebook for the first time, you have to import your pandas first because you closed it and now you're opening it again. So you have to do this import pandas as PD and then try this particular thing. It will be working out because you closed it and you again opened it, right? All the cache memories, everything will be cleared off. But since I opened this file since yesterday, I have not closed it. So directly I started with all the temporary files, whatever I had. You have to import pandas, read CSV file, everything you have to do it. All right. Fine then. So now let's get into the next chapter. I think this is fine. Apply chapter, it is done. This is where we spend a good amount of time. Let me copy this. Let me paste it here. All right. Now the last 2 chapters we'll discuss and we will be finishing up our today's session. Chapter 7. Let's take this one, grouping versus pivot table versus crosstab. Let's try to get into this chapter. Okay. Grouping versus pivot table versus crosstab. All right, chapter 7. So for this, what we can do, let's, you all wanted a break or shall I continue? You want a break or shall I continue this? break, please. Okay. Harsh, more break. I'm getting more responses on break. Okay. How many minutes? 3, 4, 5. You have three options. All right. Majority wins. So Anil Bhavani says 3 minutes. Okay, let's go for 3 minutes break today and come back. And we will work on these two chapters and we will be winding up our today's session. Okay. 3 minutes time starts now. We can go for a break, quick break. All right, is everyone back from break? Okay, great. All right, so let's continue this. So now we are going to discuss the last two chapters for today. That is grouping versus pivot table versus crosstab. And the last chapter is nothing but this merge function. Okay. Now let us go back there. These two chapters are again pretty important. So now for this, what we will do, let's pick up this insurance.csv file. Okay, let me copy this file. Now, since it is a CSV file, read _CSV. Let me try to write this file, insurance or CSV. Now I just opened this particular file. Now we are all able to see that this file is nothing but it's an insurance charge details. So the one who's aged at 19 and female and BMI is 27.9 and children comes under zeroth category, and she's a smoker and she's from Southwest, and the insurance charges is nothing but 16,884 and 18 years of age. It's nothing but an insurance charge details. So what I'll do, let me try to take it in within insurance charges. Okay, insurance charge details. Let me take it here. Now, by looking into it, okay, since we worked on one important function, what questions you can raise? Just think for 1 minute. What question you can raise by looking into this data? So this session, data analysis, is always going to be a question and answering session. I'll make you to think rather just delivering what this data set is all about. What your mind is thinking. Insurance, William Mary is saying insurance charges based on age. Based on age is already given, right? If age is 19, insurance charges 1684, 18. So can you just fine tune your question, Mary? Just a fine tune of your question is required. Carrying of health, okay. Premium, what is it? Premium, Dr. Leela? Just think on it. Age and health condition, okay. Yes, I'm not asking what you're able to understand. So what question you can raise it? Because if you're seeing age is 19 and the BMI is 27, it's a direct answer, Ranit, what you're saying. But what question you can raise it? I want a complete question. Age and the health condition, I'm not getting a question there. You can frame a proper question and you can post it on the chat box. Name, what is the name, Leelavati? Not getting it again. Can you try to frame a proper question? Okay, Amol is saying insurance charges based on certain features like BMI, smoker region. Right, you came near to the right question, Amol. Again, little bit fine tuning, you can say. Nikila, how can we predict that a person is a smoker or not smoker? So here, Nikila, we are not going to predict it. We are just going to do understanding, analysis. There is a difference between predict and analysis. Pavani, in different regions, how much charge is collected? Yes, again, you came near to the question, Pavani. Which is the best? Okay, Dua Ali is saying, which is the best insurance and the cheapest one in location? Again, yes, maybe, yes, Dua, you got it. So what question we can raise? Let me try to take the question from Amol. Okay, I'm copying Amol's question and I'm pasting it here. Insurance charges based on certain features like a smoker region. So I just said, just fine tuning required. If you have just given average insurance charges, what is the average insurance charges based on certain features like BMI? BMI is not, BMI is something like a body mass index factor. If you're removing it based on whether it's a smoker and which region he's from, this would be great. You got my point, Pavani? What is the minimum and maximum charges? Yes, great, Pavani. You got it. Wonderful question. What is the minimum? I think now you are becoming better. What is the minimum and maximum charges in different regions? Great question. So now I think slowly you're trying to raise questions. So what now my question is, what made you to think of asking this question? What made you to think to raise this question? If you think so deeply, we discussed about one function called as group by, isn't it? Yes or no? Yes or no? Let's confirm. Right. Right, Harsh. So that's why if you remember the Panda session, if when we started this Panda session, I said there are certain functions. If you are able to understand that functions, you will be getting how to raise good questions on the data. Slowly you will be getting it. Okay, so that's what the point which I just covered. And this minimum and maximum, you just need to know about this aggregation function. That's it. So by if you're knowing about few functions, you would be good in raising the questions. So again, let me try to answer this. What is the average insurance charges based on certain features like smoker and region? First question. It's asked by Amol. So now let me try to. So firstly, we have to group the data. So my insurance charges, insurance charge dot, I'm going to use this group by function. All right. Within that, I'm having by. Let me copy this, paste it. Based on smoker and regions, right? So you can give, let me say, a smoker first. We can also take two columns at once, but let me say smoker, one, let me take it one by one. And then average insurance charges. So here I have to use a square bracket. So I'll be using charges here, Control C, paste it, average. Dot, what is the average aggregation function? It is mean. So let me come back here, let me use dot mean. Now I got it. So on an average, those who are smoking, they are getting an insurance of 32,050. Those who are not smoking, they are getting an average, they are getting an insurance of $8,434. So this is what group by function will do. And again, what I wanted, average insurance charges based on certain features like smoker and regions. So what you can do, let me copy. So now smoker, comma, let me also include this region column. Region. Let me give it. Now it is going to throw me an error. So what is the error? If it is more than one column, if you wanted to group it, I have to enclose within what? List. Right. So now let me use square bracket. Square bracket. Now if you see this, those who are not smoking and from Northeast region, they are paying $9,165. Non-smokers from Northwest, non-smokers from Southeast, non-smokers from Southwest. They are paying this much amount. Sorry, this much insurance charges. Those who are smoking, this is what the amount. So I get a detailed picture on an average. So the way how you have to raise this question is nothing but on an average. And then what you can do again here, instead of this, you can just find out. If you want to find out the minimum and the maximum value, Control C. Just try to go with minimum value. The minimum value of those who are non-smokers and from Northeast region, maybe you can remove this smokers. It's based on how we are raising this question. The minimum charges is this one from is based on the region. Maximum value is this one. All right, now I got it. So in this way, your group by function, one function is trying to help me to raise many questions on my data to come up with this kind of answers. Got my point, everyone? The power of group by function. Able to understand? All right. Now what you can do, let me give you a small task. There is within this insurance charges, after you use this group by function, here you can use this aggregate. All right. Try to read about. All right. Try to read about this aggregate function. Okay. Try to read about this aggregate function, where exactly this aggregate function will give you all the minimum, maximum value, average, everything it will be giving. It will be giving the minimum value, maximum value, and the first value, last value. In this way, it will be giving the total aggregated report. Try to explore this particular part. All right. So now let me make use of this one. Let's say, let me try to comma. This one, let me try to take it, insurance charges. So now the next question, what I'm getting is nothing but I'm using this group by function, right? Within this by, what other columns I can include? Because smoker I've included. Smoker I included. Region I included. What are all the other columns I can include within this by argument? Okay, Srisha is saying age. Okay, Anil is saying BMI. Okay. Okay, Harsh is saying 6. Bhavani 6. Okay. Okay, let me give you a clue here. See this. If I wanted to, there is, if I wanted to know group by function within this by, which are all the columns to pick, and outside which columns to pick. So that is my question basically here. Here, what to pick, here, what to pick. So here, always you need to pick something called as discrete data. Here, always you have to pick something called as continuous data. Discrete data is nothing but it is just, it can't be measured. It can't be measured. It can't be measured. It does not have, which means that it does not have any units. Very important point, the difference between discrete data and continuous data. Does not have any units. And we can say it is just countable. Countable, can't segregate it. Can't segregate it. So these are all the few properties of discrete. Continuous is straight opposite. Okay, it can be measured. It has some units. It is measurable, basically. It can be segregated. All right. Now, let me try to ask you some questions here. All right. 1 minute. You can note it down. All right. This is just a small task. All right. If you just take a look at it, can you just differentiate between discrete versus continuous? Now, time. Is it a discrete data or a continuous data? Discrete or continuous? It is continuous. What does mean by segregate? I'll come back to segregate is nothing but, let's say, time can be segregated. If I'm saying 3, I can say 3.30. But if I'm saying how many bikes do you own, Saloni? Can you say I am owning 1.5 bikes? You can just count it. I'm owning 1 bike or 2 bike. You can't segregate it. If I'm asking about how many participants are attending today's session, you can say 15 or 20, which is nothing but it is only countable. You can't say 15.5, 13.5. So segregation, I mean by that particular term. That's it. Hope you got my point. Okay, time is continuous. What about the number of laptops a person can have? Discrete. All right. Currency. Currency. Everyone is saying discrete. Currency. Okay. Currency, is it having units? $100, $15.2, or we can say 17.5 rupees, which can be segregated, which has some units. So it becomes what? Is it discrete now? Is it discrete or continuous? Great, Dua. You're right. Okay, Leelavati, we have to understand a different perspective. Yes, it is countable, but we have to countable in the sense we have to, you don't need to stick with only one term. That's why I given 4 points there. So if I'm having units, if it is measurable, basically, and if it is segregatable, it will come under continuous. Countable in the sense you can only count it. Let's say here, if you say I'm having how many cars, 5 cars, you can only count it and say you can't segregate. You don't have any other options. All right. So this one, the number of cars a person can have is a discrete or continuous. Discrete. All right. Scale. Scale. Continuous. Right. And that's pretty important thing. A number of wives a person can have. Number of wives a person can have. Okay. Now everyone are giving right answers here. Okay. Fine. Now I think you're all good with differentiating between discrete and continuous. Now let me go back here. Now the point here why I was explaining all these things is nothing but, so within this particular by column, you have to only pick discrete data type. All right. Outside you need to pick up continuous. So now what are all the discrete data that you have here? Is age, is it a discrete one? Is age discrete? No. Is age discrete, Harsh? Age, years. I'm 19 years old, 18 years old, 18.5 years old. So can I include age into here within this by column? No. So BMI, someone said BMI. BMI, is it a discrete or continuous? Continuous. Can I include BMI within this? No, I can't do that. Great. So what are all the other discrete data that you have? Now 6, it is discrete, right? So you can have 6 here. Within by you can have children because it is just countable, 0, 1. You can say based on children category, what is the average insurance charges? You can tell that. Based on smoker, whether he is a smoker or not, which is a discrete, you can come up and say what is the average insurance charges? Based on the region-wise insurance charges. So the point here to be noted is nothing but your by column, always it will take a discrete data, and outside we have to pick up a continuous data, not a discrete one. So this is just a key to remember. Pick up discrete data within by and continuous data outside your by, and then any one of the aggregation function based on your type of analysis, what you wanted to do. Is it clear now? Able to understand? All right, hope it should be clear now. Great. So now what people do, see this. Now here I'm just using this particular charges and everything. Let me include one more column. So what other column I can include? If you suggest me one more column to be included, by what other columns we can have it? Children. All right. Sex, yes, maybe we can also include 6. Let's say, let me include 6 here. So now if you see, those who are not smoking, Northeast, female, male, you have it. So this is one way of display. All right. So now we are able to have this group by function. Those who are not smoking from Northeast, male, this much insurance charges they are getting it. Now the same information. I'm going to use something called as pivot table. Pivot table, I'm just going to use it. Pivot table, I'm just going to use within this. I'm just placing my cursor here. Shift triple tab. Control C. I'm copying few parameters. So what I'm doing, data is equal to insurance charges and index row. What I'm doing, index is nothing but row. I'm just creating like a region. region, let me take it within single quotes since it's rows. And columns, since it is more than one column, so using square bracket. First column, let it be smoker. Second column, let it be sex. And values, let me take charges. So that is the column name. All the column names need to be taken within single quotes, charges. Okay. And the default aggregation function is mean itself. Control C, can give it. Let me present it. Now, which one is more presentable? Is this group by more presentable? The same information, if you say the same information, I'm just presenting it. Which one is more presentable? Pivot table or group by function? Pivot table. All right, the same information. So here, by looking into this table now, again, I can just, even you can use this round function. See, there is something called this in case if you want to round this insurance charges. After this, you can use dot round. Dot round, you can use it, you will be getting it. So on an average, those who are not smoking female from Northeast region, they are paying they are getting $9,640. So now your pivot table, it's again a kind of aggregated table. But in case if you're including more than one column, your pivot table will be more presentable than your group by functions. Only for that we are getting into it. Now, how I'm just giving it. Now here it comes up with multiple arguments. Now data is nothing but what? Shift triple tap from giving it. Data, how data need to be, it should be a data frame. Here it says it should be data frame. Now insurance charges, it is a data frame, rows and columns. Now index is nothing but what? It is rows. What need to be there in the rows? All right, northeast and everything. You can interchange it. Okay, so I'm just giving region. Columns, what should be there in the columns? Smoker, that should be first, and then sex, that should be second. It's up to us again to it. And then what values have to present it inside? Values is nothing but charges. What is the aggregation function? Mean. So now I got this kind of details. It's up to us. Maybe if you want to take only one, let's say based on smoker, you can give it. It will be more presentable. That's it. So your group by function pivot table, it's again a kind of aggregation function, but now this is more presentable compared to your group by function. So when you're including more than one column, you can just try to get into this pivot table and present it, which will be more better. Got my point, everyone? Right, Harsh, correct. Pivot table like those in Excel? Yes. I think most important question in your Excel is nothing but pivot table, right? Creating pivot table and everything, even in Tableau. Understanding pivot table. So when they will be getting it, not to worry. All right. Fine. So now there is something called as what is that? Crosstab. The last one, Crosstab. All right. What exactly this Crosstab will do? See this. Crosstab computes a simple cross tabulation of two or more factors. By default, computes a frequency table of the factors. Okay, it's just a frequency table. Let me copy. Let me paste it here. Sorry. It's just a frequency table, right? By default, it computes a frequency table. That's it. So now what I'll do, index and columns, I have to give it. Control C. Let me paste it here. Index is equal to, let me take region. Columns is equal to, let me take smokers. And I should have a data. Am I having anything like data argument? No. Then from where exactly I can say region is coming from where I can say region and smokers, because I'm not having anything like data. In case, look onto it very carefully. In case, if you don't have data as an argument, since here we have chosen insurance data, right? Here within this pivot table, this is a function I'm having data where you can pass out your column name. But here with respect to pivot, sorry, your data frame name, but with respect to this crosstab function, you don't have data as an argument, right? You don't have data as an argument. So at that time, what you can do, instead of giving out the column names, you can just give out your data set name, insurance charge, square bracket, call out this term. Columns is equal to insurance charges, square bracket, call out this particular term. All right. Now, if you see, you will be getting it. So this one, all the two factors, it should be discrete. All right. Why discrete is nothing but just a frequency table. It is going to. So in my data, how many Northeast people who are non-smokers? Totally 257. How many people who are smokers from Northeast region? 67. So totally we can say non-smokers are higher compared to smokers list, right? Even if you can just tweak one more argument, shift triple tap, I'm giving it. There is something called as margins, which is set to false. Control C, I'm giving it. I'm just giving it to true. Margins is equal to true, I'm giving it. Now see this. We got all. Where exactly you can explain it even more better. Out of 324 who are from Northeast, 257 are non-smokers and 67 are smokers. Out of 325 who are from Northwest, 267 are non-smokers and 58 are smokers. And even you can compare this also. Out of 1,338 total observations, we are able to see 1,064 are non-smokers, 274 are smokers. Out of this 274 who are smokers, 67 are from Northeast, 58 are from Northwest, 91 are from Southeast, 58 from Southwest. So in this way, you can do a lot of explanations by using, if you know, one function called as Crosstab. Able to get my point? All right, clear, wonderful. I think most of you are feeling the session is a bit hectic, but if you're working on it, definitely it'll be much useful for you. Okay, so now see this. Let me just copy and paste it. Now we are at the last chapter, chapter 8. It's nothing but we can say it is an append chapter, append function we can use, or we can use concat. We can name it as merge. Okay. Now what you can do, just try to take out these three files, sales transaction 27. Just read these three files, sales transactions 2017, 2018, and 2019. Read it and store it in a separate file. Okay. pd.read_csv. Now it is 2018. This one is 2019. All right. Now we are able to see three files. Right now, when you're looking at these three files, so your date column, voucher, all the feature names are common. This data set, it's nothing but one is this data set is from the superstore itself. So there is one grocery store, which is a wholesale market basically. So we got it from there. And now if you look onto it here, we are not going to understand it, nothing we are going to do. This is just, I'm just giving it for your practicing purpose. Now I'm able to see different column names comes up with the same, like date, voucher, party, product, quantity, rate, gross. So 2017 data, it is coming up. So this 2018 also, it's coming up with the same column names. 2019 is also coming with the same column names. So now this is just a data set to go for some product recommendation. Now, whenever we are visiting to some stores and everything, so now let's say you are visiting to some store All right. Now let's say Dr. Leela is visiting to some store and she wanted to buy some jewelries. Now, if I'm just recommending, she's getting one, and if I'm just recommending only 2 or 3 recommendations in the store, she's not happy with it because I wanted to see a lot of other models or the other variants of this particular thing so that I can choose it for my own. So whenever I'm just going for some product recommendation, even in Amazon, if it is just displaying 1 or 2, we are not pretty happy with it. We are happy when we are able to see good recommendations. So when we are working on this kind of projects, so for product recommendation, if you're having a good number of data set in our hand, it will be more better. So what we have done is basically a product recommendation project. So let me store this data into something like sales 2017 data. And you can take a look at it, sales 2017. So basically you're having 47,000 observation, 290 day, 290, so 47,290 observation. This one is sales 2018 data. And here 2018 we have 44,740. So this one is sales 2019 data, where you have 19,176. Now these 3 data sets is coming up with the same. So at that time for product recommendation, we try to combine all these 3 data sets together. So to combine all these 3 data sets together, there are 2 different ways we have. So what you can do, you can just say there is something pd dot, lot of functions you have, where exactly you're having concat. It's a function where exactly if you read it, it is going to combine all the data sets. So here you can just mention all the data set name, sales 2017, sales 2018, sales 2019. So it is an error. Error is nothing but what you're trying to compare more than one. So take it within square bracket. You got it. Now it's nothing but what 1,11,206 observations you have. So let me take it like sales complete data. All right, sales complete data. Sales complete data, you got it. Now this is one way of combining multiple data sets together. The other way is nothing but using append function. You're having sales 2017 data dot. We give it, you'll be having some functions called as append function. So to this particular 2017 data, you can append this sales 2018, sales 2019 data. Again, the problem is take it within list. Anything is fine. I'm just trying to introduce you as many functions as possible so that you will get to know. In this way, you will find a lot of other functions. So slowly take one function and try to use it and again check, because this data science journey, it's a pretty long journey here. It's not like within 2 months or 3 months you can complete it and go. A lot of things, still I'm learning a lot of new stuff with respect to this. It's everyday learning, brainstorming exercises we have to do. So slowly you can just get into all those particular stuffs. So this is how you can just combine multiple data sets together. Is this part clear? Just confirming how to combine multiple data sets together and take it. And then what you can do, why we have to do it's nothing but because whenever you're working with Tableau and everything, you will be having separate data sets. Now, in case if I'm combining it together, I can just export it as one CSV file. See this. Now I combine it together. Now this is my data set name, sales complete data. This is my sales complete data dot. There is another function called as to underscore. If you see to underscore CSV. You can take it as a CSV file, or you can take it as an Excel file, which format you want it. So let's say I wanted to take it as a CSV file. So give a column and which name you want it. What is a path and what is separator file, you can give it. Now path is nothing but in the current directory itself, I wanted to create it like, see this. For now, I don't have anything like complete data and anything. Let me create, say this complete data. That's what I'm going to give a name here. Complete data dot CSV. Shift enter, see this. Now I'm going to run this cell. Now I ran this cell. Now if you see, I got this complete data. Now this complete data, if you look onto it, so you can just open it in Excel sheet, and the total observations and everything, see, look on the size 7.28 MB, which means that you got this 1,11,200. So with respect to this Python programming, you can combine multiple data sets by using this particular command, and you can come to this conclusion and you can perform some data cleaning operations. This is also very much important step, how to combine multiple data sources together and export it as one CSV file. Able to get my point? All right. Fine. So now in case if you are interested, column must be same in all. Yes, Amol, right. You're right. So in case if you wanted to explore more about this, what I would do is nothing but sales transaction editor.csv file. I'm just giving it. Let me copy and just try to take a read on it. Read underscore CSV file. Let's take a read on it. So here, if you see, this is basically a cleaned data, which I just made it. Now let's say, let me take a look at the cleaned data dot head of just first 30 observation. Now see how clean it is. All right, clean in the sense there is no spaces behind and everything. Okay, this is what my data. But now just take a look at your sales complete data dot head of first 30 observation. Is it a clean one? Is the data set what we have combined, is it clean? No, it is completely, we can say, dirty. Some many in values it's available and everything. So what you wanted to do is nothing but try cleaning the data. Okay, so and also for cleaning purpose, let me give you some clue. So this is the data set. I'm just giving the data set which I've cleaned it, but you have to write some scripts to clean this data. The clue is nothing but if you see this cleaned data set dot data types. Okay, and see this voucher, it is an int 64, party is an object, quantity is integer, float is a rate. Okay, and also if you look onto that the cleaned data set dot is na dot sum, means which means that is there any null element available in this particular column, and you are just summing it. If there is a date column, is there any null element, and rate, it has only one element. But if you are just performing, if you look onto the sales complete data dot data types, all your columns or all your feature is an object data. First, you have to try to convert this so that you will be getting it. And one point to be noted, that date, it should be in date time data type. So actually the cleaned data, what I'm giving you, it is an object data type. The date feature, I'm just speaking about this date feature. This date feature is an object data type. But when you're performing this cleaning, in case if you seriously wanted to work on it, if you're working on it, you will be having a very good grip in data cleaning part. Okay, so now this date feature, it should be in date time. Accordingly, you can try exploring your part. And then your sales complete data dot is na dot sum. See this, how many null values it has, the data set which you combine together. So clean your data set and transform your data set type. For that, it will take a lot of time. So my previous batch learners, they have taken 1 day, they have spent almost around, those who are from non-programming background, they used to spend 4 to 6 hours in 1 day, and second day again 3 hours, and third day again 3 hours they completed. And the one who are from programming background, 4 to 6 hours, they said. I think 3 to 4 hours they invested the time here, and they just shared me the script. I taken a look on it. Only if you are able to complete it, it would be very challenging. But in case if you complete it, that would be definitely helpful for you in your data cleaning part. Got my point, everyone? Is the task clear? All right. Okay, let me give it. So this is daily task number what? I think it is 5. Perform, all right, perform data cleaning. This is one task. And the next task is explore merge function. If you are exploring merge function, you will be clear with inner join, outer join, um, left join, right join. These are two different tasks. For this explore function, you don't need to make use of this data set. That's what the common mistake which few learners are doing it. Only for performing data cleaning, you can make use of this data. For exploring merge function, you can rely on any materials. You can rely on any website and you can do it. Amar, I think someone, Muskan got disconnected, it seems. We can share the attendance link once again so that he can fill it. All right, is this two tasks clear, everyone? And that's the end of Pandas exercise. Okay. If you're able to follow me along with this, you will be very good in your data analysis skills. Okay, so this is what the major things which I've covered it with respect. If you're knowing again few functions, all right, few functions like this, you will be very good in your data analysis part, and the way how you're raising the questions will be completely dependent on few functions. So you know about crosstab function, you know how to raise questions. Now you know about pivot table, you know how to raise some questions by looking into the data set itself. So that's how even data analyst or by looking into it, they'll come up with the questions. So behind the scene, they have already done this groundwork. So I'm just giving you the key, how they are raising this question, what we have to do from here. It will not come over the night. It will come by practice. So try practicing the same data set again and again and again. The data sets, what I've given, it's more than sufficient to give a start. And in case if you come up with any new data sets in future, this is something fine. This will give you good stability, confidence to raise questions on the data. All right. So how many of you are finding the session interesting, or is it something boring, or what do you say? Or is it easy to understand? Let me try to take some feedbacks. Are we going fast or is it good? All right, Saloni, very interesting. Okay, great, Saloni. Good to know that. William, interesting, informative, wonderful. Thanks. Anil, an easy way. Okay, thanks, William. Sai Durga, interesting, sir. Wonderful, nice. Harsh, interesting, good pace. Pavani, the session is very interesting and learning new things daily. Wonderful. Thanks for all your feedbacks. So since I missed one session, I can't follow the remaining. Wonderful. Great, doctor. So Supriya, after completion of the course, is the portal still available to view? As today I missed 40 to 45 minutes. Yes, Supriya. Post the session, it will be available in your dashboard. Even you can get it in YouTube also. Sessions are great, Aditya. Fine then. So good to know all your feedbacks. And in case if something need to be corrected, I think you should be having the attendance links and the feedbacks from. You can give your comments over there. Definitely the team will take the comments and give it to me. I think till now you all are good with the pace, what we are learning. In case if something need to be corrected or if I'm going too fast or anything, you can just let me know. Okay. Great, then so today we looked on to this the remaining 4 chapters we discussed. That is, we discussed about indexing, and we discussed about apply function. We discussed about a group by pivot table and concat function, and finally we discussed about apply concat apply function. Sorry, merge functions. So merge function I've given as a task for you. Append function we discussed. Concat we discussed, and everything we completed. And lambda function, very important thing we discussed it today. Final videos, everything it will be for lifetime access, as the team has already discussed about it. Okay, don't need to worry about it. Fine then. Let's come meet tomorrow, the same time, 7 o'clock, and continue with data visualization. How to make use of Python for data visualization. That's what we are going to cover tomorrow. All right. Take care, everyone. Have a good night. And until we meet again, take care. See you all. Bye.